Coach, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Awesome. Well, let me get you spotlighted here. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the victory with Martin Truex Jr. We are now joined by our race-winning team owner, Joe Gibbs. So if you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand, get in the queue, and we will get started. And we're going to kick things off with Bob Pockris. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Coach, Truex, 1 win last year, 3 wins this year. What's he doing different?
Well, Bob, I think, you never, last year was so close. I think about 8 races in a row, he was like top 3 or 4. It's the same thing as happening with Denny. And I think it shows you how hard this sport is. And, but I think he and James now have worked together for another year. I think they're more comfortable. And I got to tell you, it was awesome today. The 5 cars scared me at the end. And Martin said he scared me too, but it was a big day for us. I just really appreciate auto owners. Everybody knows our sport is so dependent on us having great partners and sponsors. Auto owners is on that car. Interstate Batteries, Mark at Reesers is on that car, and Johnny Morris. All of them, I appreciate them so much. And the companies, Bass Pro, Reesers, and Interstate Batteries. So it's a big day for us. You celebrate something like this because that doesn't happen very often.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Zach Sterniolo. Go ahead, Zach.
Coach, congratulations on today's win. Martin obviously has 3 wins now this season. All 3 of them have come at tracks with the 750 horsepower package. Has there been any particular focus at the shop on that package, especially knowing that the championship is decided at Phoenix?
Well, when I asked them about coming back to Darlington at our competition meeting, they all said one thing: hey, it's a totally different package. So we're not sure. That's what our crew chief said. And so I think there was some doubt about, how we would run here, and totally different setups and stuff. But our guys seemed to hit it, and our cars were fast today. I was really proud of that. But I think each and every track, particularly here, very unique track, very different. And so our setups are really very different, at almost every track, but particularly here. So I don't think there was anything special about it. It was just a lot of hard work, and James and his group hit it with just the right package.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Pete Acabelli. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach. Just wondering, is it more nerve-wracking to watch one of your racers be dominant like Martin was, or is it more nerve-wracking when they're chasing the lead?
I would say today's race made you, for me, that situation made me the most nervous. Out front, had a strong car all day. At times you were way out front and you're kind of saying to yourself, oh my gosh, and then here comes the 5 car. And you just picture yourself, that kept closing, that gap. And I was saying to myself, oh no, and I think it's just something that can happen in racing. But to answer your question, I think today's scenario is the toughest for me anyway.
All right, and we are also joined here by our race winner, Martin Truex Jr. So if you have a question for either Coach or Martin, please feel free to raise your hand and just address who your question is for, and we're going to go to Jacob Seelman next.
Thanks, Marissa. I've got one for Coach and one for Martin. I'll start with Coach. You talked about that you weren't really sure how these guys were going to run, but all 4 of your cars ran well today. Obviously, there was a lot of slipping and sliding. Do you feel like we saw your drivers be rewarded for really getting up on the wheel and showcasing some of what they were capable of today, maybe more than we have in the past couple of years here at Darlington?
Well, I know not particularly here at Darlington, but just generally, I know that when tracks are really hard and tough to get a hold of, I really feel good about that with our guys, because I think we got the best I just believe we do. And our drivers, Martin today, and all four of our cars today were strong. And so I love it when it's a tough track and it's hard to get a hold of. Martin may not like it.
Well, similar question for Martin then. What was it like coming back here?
Yeah,
Yeah, we had a good green flag stop.
yeah, we had a very bad stop.
Did you?
Yeah.
Push it a little bit first.
I guarantee you do. Good run.
And
Sorry,
Martin,
that was Kyle Larson.
that's
Me.
all right. What was it like the last couple of years? Obviously, the 550 package coming back here today, and really, it looked like having to wheel it around there much of the day, and yet it seemed like you still had maybe one of the most dominant cars of your career.
I love low downforce. That's all I'm going to say. I love it. You know, I feel like, you know, especially this year, all three races we won been with this package. So obviously, you know, guys and girls at JGR are doing a great job. But I just, you know, for me, you look at 16, 17, and 18 low downforce. I mean, you know, we very well could have won all three championships. You know, we were right there in all three and won a lot of races. So, big fan of this kind of racing, really enjoy it. You know, today was a heck of a challenge. I did come on the radio one time and say, I'm really surprised at just how slow it feels and how slick it is. I mean, I was leading and driving away from the field, and I'm like, this thing is sliding everywhere. It's pretty amazing just how much this track changes year to year. Every time we come back, it gets more difficult with the you know, the wear of the pavement. And I would say that, you know, we probably have less downforce now than we've ever had here, you know, because I think some of the rules that have changed since 17 or 18, whatever, we've probably got less downforce than we had then, even with, you know, building new cars and working on get better and better and better. Really, really just a fun day, a big challenge. And, you know, just got to give it up to my guys for giving me a great car and doing all the little things right.
Did it feel like the 600 in 2016 when you smoked them that bad?
No, it doesn't. But you know, it's funny. It's funny you bring that up because like my brother-in-law was over last night. And we were and Sherry's dad, and we were all talking, and he pretty much told me the reason we're going away from low downforce is all my fault. So I guess I did it again. He'll tell me tonight when I go home, you did it again. You stunk up the show. So sorry, not sorry.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Alex Andreev. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey there, this is actually for Coach Gibbs. You mentioned the kind of having the sponsors back and able to have more access. I'm curious what that has looked like for the team and how important it's been, especially at Darlington, having more guests allowed. What is the perspective for you guys?
Coach, were you able to hear her?
No, I wasn't.
Okay,
didn't.
Alex.
I wasn't.
Oh, sorry.
No, I can repeat. I think we're having a little bit of echo from the media center. She was just asking you about what it was like having the sponsors back and how that has really elevated the weekend for you guys in terms of the sponsorships and having people in the infield.
Was that to me?
Yes, it was.
Coach? Yeah. And she was talking about our sponsors?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, our sponsors today, like I said, when I called auto owners, I couldn't thank them enough. And Jeff out there, and I had Martin have a chance to talk to him. Mark at Reesers reached out to him, Nora Miller at Interstate, and Johnny Morris. Our sponsors, our sport is different in that it's not like football, basketball, and baseball. You have to have a partner, and they are partners. They're more than a sponsor. And it was a great day for us to celebrate that with those 4 different partners that we had there.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Chase McCabe. Go ahead, Chase.
This one's for Martin. Martin, you and Cole had such great chemistry over the years with winning a bunch of races, winning a championship. Now with James, now that the wins are starting to come, what's changed with the chemistry between you two, maybe from last year to this year?
I mean, honestly, I don't really feel like anything's changed between us since he took over the crew chief position. I think, when he was our engineer, we had a great relationship, and I think that's continued. Obviously, more interacting, since he went from engineer to crew chief when Cole decided to do something else. But, I think last year James did a great job. I mean, if you look at everything, we were right there. A lot of races. We had some tough luck. We had a lot of second, third place finishes, and we didn't win as many as we should have. But I think I feel like he's done a really great job since he stepped in, and our relationship has been great since day one. I guess if anything has changed right now this year, it's been just confidence. It's his second year. He's more comfortable in position, and he's getting to go back and look at his own notes and think about the decisions he made last year to certain track, and not so much going off of somebody else's notes. And really, it's just all about having confidence in your decisions. And there's so many things. I know we talk about simulation and all the technology that goes into setting up these cars to show up at the racetrack, and with no practice these days, every weekend I ask James, I'm like, what do you think? How do you feel about it? And he's like, well, if our 600 assumptions are correct, we're going to be really good. So I think just getting more comfortable in his role, getting more comfortable at making those decisions, especially at times where maybe, if you weren't that good at a racetrack last time, you have enough confidence in yourself to make some big changes, really go for it, swing for the fences. And he's been able to do that this year. That's probably one of the biggest things I've noticed about it, is the confidence. So I don't think our relationship has changed at all, really. But I think James has really stepped it up and done an even greater job this year.
And then my next one's for Coach. You've obviously seen the wins come from Martin and from Kyle. Christopher Bell has a win already this year, but what have you seen from him and his development, just his second year in Cup, but his first year actually in the Joe Gibbs Racing team?
Yeah. Thank you for that question, because Christopher sometimes kind of gets left behind with our other three guys, but really this year he jumped out with the win, which I thought was that took a great performance right off the bat with us. And really, he's been fast. I think there's 2 races that they were disappointed in. I talked to him and Adam, and the rest of the races, he's been fast, just like today. I think he would have finished in the top 6 or something, but he hit the wall there. So I think he's showing flashes of what we kind of feel like a young guy. He shows that he is very fast. I think he's making great progress. I think we got Adam working with him, which is great. And so I think he's having a great second year in Cup, in particular with the fact that we have no practice. He's only been in those cars, a couple of times at places. And so we're thrilled with that. I think the other thing I wanted to mention is Coy and everybody back at the race shop. They don't get to experience this, but it's a thrill for us to have a team like that behind us. And Martin knows that too. And then the Lord's just blessed us with a great group of guys.
All right.
Thank
you. Coach, I'm going to read you. I kind of messed up Alex's question earlier, so I'm going to re-ask you that. How important was it to have more guests allowed back in the infield this weekend for the teams?
It's super important. I'm glad you re-asked that. It's so important for us. Some of the key players that our sponsors have such interest in it, and they love being here and being a part of it. Today we had guys flying in from all over. Johnny Morris coming in. Just it's great for us to have things opening up. I'm hoping we get back to our fans being evidently in the fall. We're going to have the place packed, but it's very, very important to get those key people from the companies back into our sport. And I'm looking forward to getting to go again and do hospitalities. So all of that's coming, but it is very, very important. And today, I appreciate that question, because those guys are so key to us, and it's great having them back at the racetrack, and we're starting to loosen up some.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And sorry about that, Alex. Coach, we appreciate you taking some time with us. We're going to let you get back to some other obligations, and we'll get to Martin, but congratulations again. And thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Sure. All righty. And Martin, we're going to get right back into some more questions for you, and we will take our next one from Jenna Fryer. Go ahead, Jenna.
Hey, Martin, congratulations. Sort of on that same theme, were you able to bring anybody into the garage today and get anybody at the track with you?
I didn't know. I came alone. So, Sherry was wanting to spend Mother's Day at home with her mother. So see her when I get home, but no, came here solo.
But are you ready to bring people back? Did it feel any different with more people in the garage?
It didn't feel any different. Honestly, I didn't even go into the garage. I, got here and hung out in the bus until it was time to go. So I'm totally fine with it. I can't wait till it's back to, totally normal. I was mentioned earlier, my brother-in-law works on a truck team, and, he works on the truck that actually won the race. And, he's like, they wouldn't let us in victory lane. And I don't understand because, we're all wearing masks. And when we get done here in victory lane, we're all going to get in the van together and drive home. So, little things like that, like my crew guys not getting into victory lane until later on. And it just, it loses some of its luster after 10 minutes of standing around. But, to answer your question, I think it's time to get back to doing things like we always did. And I think it's slowly going that direction. So that's all good. And as Coach was talking about, our sponsors are such a key role in our sport and what we're doing. And, it was really cool to see Johnny out on pit road today, getting to enjoy the race. And he was really fired up and excited to be here. So can't wait till it's all back to the way it used to be.
Great. Thanks, Martin.
You got it.
All right. We'll take our next question from Pete Acabelli. Go ahead, Pete.
Martin, we probably asked you this after the 2016.
I see you. You're right there.
I'm right there. Hey there. We'll get back to this.
I don't get it.
Can we just? But anyway,
talk?
What is it like when you got such a big lead and you know that you've got a big lead, and then how does your mindset change when you see somebody in your rear view mirror like Kyle in the last few laps?
I think you go from being really calm and like, all right, this is great. Let's, no cautions. Let's take care of this thing and just click off the laps and, run 95%, leave a little bit out there, try to take care of your tires, stay off the fence, all that good stuff. And then, and then it goes, next thing you know, you have a slow pit stop, this and that. You get caught behind a few cars, lap cars racing and whatnot. You're like, oh man, he's right there. Like I hadn't had to race him all day. Where'd he come from? I better get going. Oh crap, now I'm too loose. I can't go any faster, So just, it's heart rate goes up, and, anxiety goes up, and you just try not to make any mistakes.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Bob Pockers. Go ahead, Bob.
I see Bob too. He's right here, front row.
Yeah, but
You can look at me. You can look at that computer.
Hey, so hopefully they can hear me through this, but you talked a little bit out there on the grid. Just how big is these 3 wins considering the tracks that they are and where they are in the playoffs?
They're huge, and I think this off season we really, as a group, and I think as a company, wanted to, make sure that we had the 750 package dialed in because that's the championship race, and a big percentage of the playoff races are with this package. So that feels great. I really enjoy this package, and so that's even more of a bonus to get to win in them. But just definitely, I think it's a big deal for us and win at these tracks. So really cool, and like I said earlier, the team's just doing an amazing job, and bringing great cars to the track, and it's been really fun racing this year.
Do you race better in a package that you enjoyed?
I feel like I can make more of a difference when we're in the low downforce package, especially on these bigger tracks. I think that, I've always been a guy that's done a lot of my driving with my right foot and the brake pedal. And, the 550 tracks, you're pretty much wide open, not all the time, but, if you have to lift, usually you're dead in the water. And, it's really hard to, make your car do different things when you can't let off the throttle. And it's a lot easier to make your car do certain things when you can let off the throttle and use it in different ways. So I really enjoy that part of this, but you know, I don't know. I think we've had success either way, but definitely feel like most of it's been with this package.
Never knew where to look with this thing straight ahead.
Awesome. All right. And we are also joined here by our race winning crew chief, James Small. So we will continue on for questions for both of these gentlemen. And we will go to Dustin Long next. Go ahead, Dustin.
Thank you. Martin, what is the challenge of keeping ahead of these tracks that you've done so well on playoff tracks in the next 4 months because of the gap, and what's the challenge of trying to keep up ahead of everybody at that point?
Well, that's a difficult part about this is, you know, we come back here and everybody's going to be working on their stuff. So what do we do to get better? You know, that's always the question in you know, this sport. Guys are always working on their stuff, whether it's working on technique or, you know, parts and pieces, race equipment, downforce, you know, aero stuff. So, you know, I think you just try to look at, you know, okay, what are the little things that we could do the car better? And then of course, as a company, you're always looking for more. They're always working on getting their cars better, you know, finding little things here and there. Obviously now the rules are pretty tight with, you know, parts and pieces being locked in through NASCAR. So there's not a whole lot you can do, but just being honest with yourself and saying, hey, what are the areas we can get better in, and go to work on those things, not be scared to make a few changes.
And how much is obviously you're getting pushed by Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson? How much do those guys push you?
You say,
How much did Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson push you?
how much do they push me? It depends on how close they are to be behind me. I don't know. I don't really understand your question. Like push. I mean,
how much are they pushing you this day? I mean, obviously you've won 3 races, so you're the de facto #1 driver. People look at what Larson has done, what Denny has done. You know, how much are they on? Do you feel like they're on your heels, or do you feel like you've got a gap on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like we have a gap on anything by any means. I think, you know, we've done a really good job of, you know, having fast race cars and executing. You know, I think it's every week you look yourself in the mirror and you say, what do we got to do to get better? I mean, that's everybody. I don't think we single out people. You know, having Kyle, Denny, Christopher, I think we have a great group of 4. We really dissect things well and learn a lot from each other, and I think elevate the company in general. I don't really, this time of year especially, Dustin, honestly, to answer your question, you don't really look at one guy. You may be at certain tracks too, like this guy was really fast here. What was he doing? How was he doing it? How can we get better there? And I think that's kind of how it goes. Like whoever's best at each track, you kind of look at them. I don't know that you say, you know, this guy's been really good all year, or this guy's been really good all year. It's kind of a week to week thing. You know, where we're going next week, you know, who was really good there last year? What can you learn from that? What can you take from that? So there's so much data and analysis available today. You can't get away with anything. Like they'll all be looking at what I did all day today throughout the summer until we come back here. So that makes it really challenging to find those little things. And I think that's what James and my guys have been so good at, is finding little ways to make the cars better. You know, we haven't had this package here since 18. We probably have less downforce than we had then, just from the rules changes over the years, tightening things up since then. And, you know, 2 years older racetrack or 3 years older racetrack, it's going to get harder. So the guys did a good job of adapting, and, you know, hopefully when we come back, we'll be able to adapt again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Zach Sterniolo. Go ahead, Zach.
Hi guys, this is for James. Martin has talked about how much he loves this package, and that this is what really this whole team has been focused on heading into the season, knowing that the championship is decided at the 750 horsepower racetrack at Phoenix. How beneficial has that been, especially seeing you guys being the only team in the series right now with multiple wins?
Yeah, well, it's definitely helped us. You know, we were okay last year as a company at short tracks, and then we went to Phoenix and kind of got our asses whooped by, you know, Penske and Hendrick. So, you know, the whole company worked really hard in the off season, just trying to, you know, find all the little things and work on the aero and work on, you know, just everything we can within what's fixed right now. And, you know, we're so limited on aero time and things like that at the winter time. It's hard to find gains, but, you know, everybody back there's been, you know, busting their chops, you know, really focusing on this, because we know it's going to come down to, you know, Phoenix if we can get there.
In the short term, you've got two more 750 horsepower tracks coming up with Dover and Coda. Obviously, very unique tracks that aren't going to be in the playoffs. What can you learn from the next 2 weeks heading forward?
Yeah, Dover, it's so different, it's to anywhere else we go. So it's a little bit of an outlier, and we're looking forward to it because we ran really well there last year, and I feel like we've improved a lot. And then obviously Coda, that's new for everybody, but I think that can help us for places like Sonoma. They've changed the Sonoma tire to be more similar to Coda. We can learn a lot there. It's a similar place with high fall off and all that. So I think, the next few races or the next month really sets up really well for us.
Thank you, guys. Congrats.
Thanks.
All right, we'll take our next one from Lee Spencer. Go ahead, Lee.
Thank you. Just wondering, James, how do you split the time between preparing for races that you're going to and just concentrating on the final 10? Because, that's for all the marbles.
Really, we're just all in every week on whatever race. So, right now we need to, get wins, bonus points, and, we go back to a lot of these tracks. So, really, hitting these well right now definitely is going to help us for when we come back in the chase. But, it's all about points and it's building that buffer. So, I think today we, executed that perfectly. So, we're going to continue that and just keep going, building that gap.
And Martin, your former crew chief was so even keel. What's it like to have a screamer on the box?
It gets a little wild at times. Gets a little wild at times. Yeah. No, it's been I guess it's a little different, but I think they get fired up about the same. James is pretty laid back too, but he gets a little fired up. I'd say that he doesn't get quite as angry as Cole would get. Cole would be like real chill, and then he'd snap. He'd get really pissed. But James is, he's pretty low key, just curses a lot more.
Yeah, sorry.
You kind of feed off of that though, because when he does get excited, it's kind of fun to listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd say we approach this thing similarly, and that's been a good thing. So, Cole, James, myself, we all got along well, and I think approached this racing thing in a similar fashion. That's why I think James and I have been a good fit, and he's been able to take over and do the similar things that Cole did, work with similar team guys and approach, and for me it's been like like they were twins. So that's been awesome. Just get used to the accent change, and here we go.
Appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we'll take our next one from Justin Palmer. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, this one's for James here. James, you guys have mentioned that last year you guys struggled a little bit on the 750 mile an hour horsepower package at Phoenix. Has that been the main catalyst for you guys as crew chiefs this off season to improve on the 750 horsepower package as your result at Phoenix last season?
Yeah, definitely. That was like a real kick in the ass for us as a company, I think. And, the way they've changed it, there's not as many 550 races anymore. We've kind of beaten that package to death over the last couple of years, and the gains you can get there is so marginal. And, everybody started, we had an advantage in 19 because I think we approached it a little bit differently on what level of downforce and drag we brought to the track. And everybody's kind of migrated to that kind of thing. So it's a lot tighter now. It's a lot harder, and the gains define are less. So, we kind of didn't really put much emphasis on the short track stuff last year because there was less races. But, with the addition of all the road course races, and then obviously Darlington switching over and being a chase race as well, it really means it's super important to be good on this package. And, I think we've shown this across the board as a company. Everyone's running really well.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Mark Garrow. Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you. Martin, what does it feel like to dominate a race, lead all the laps at a place like Darlington, and then, make it pay off with a win?
Yeah, leading laps is always fun. I think this day and age, it's all about points, bonus points for the playoffs. So, you're leading laps, hopefully you're winning stages. And, certainly that was the case today. So, Yeah, it's fun when you're out front and you're just always like, okay, when's the track going to change? Or, when somebody going to get their stuff dialed in and come out of nowhere and blow our doors off. So you're always just mindful of, staying focused on what you're doing. James is constantly asking me each run, what do I need? How's the car, this and that. So just trying to keep up with the racetrack, make small tweaks and really stay focused. This is a place where you can, if you try to slow down or you do something differently, you can get yourself in trouble because it's really all about rhythm and hitting your marks and timing. And, for me, I was, they kept telling me I was pulling away and I was, the X lap time and, 4-second lead or whatever it was. And I'm like, that's cool. But I mean, I'm not just going to slow down because if I slow down, I'm going to run into the fence because, it's going to mess up my timing. So I just did what I had to do all day and tried to stay focused. And, sometimes it's a little harder when you're out front, but, at the same time, it's a little bit easier traffic wise and being able to take care of your equipment. And that was a big key today.
Martin, you talked about now it's about adding points and bonus points, playoff points. How big a deal is the regular season points? I mean, and how much are you keeping track of it? We're halfway through or almost halfway through now the regular season. So how do you feel about potentially winning the regular season points?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be tough. The 11's got a big lead right now. And, obviously we had a bad race at Daytona and then, a flat tire at Bristol, which really, those two really set us back. I think green, white checker, we were running second or third at Bristol and got a flat. So that was a tough one, but we'll see. I think we're right there. We're second still probably after today. And, I think just being consistent, getting those bonus points and then, the regular season championship is for points as well. So really, you want to get as many as you can. It'd be cool if we could claw our way, back to the 11 and maybe pass them before it's so said and done. And that's what we'll try to do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. We're going to take our next one from Jeff Magliochetti. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hi, Mark. This question is for Martin. Congratulations to both of you on another big win. Martin, driving a car on throwback weekend where, it's reminiscent of the car you won your championship in. You dominate this race, leading 249 laps, and you have 3 wins before anyone else in the circuit has 2. Simply put, did today feel like a statement win for you in the 19 squad?
I think it definitely has some good old Furniture Row flat black mojo in it. I mean, what else can you say about it? I think that was really cool to be able to do that. Obviously, Barney Visser and what he built out there in Denver, being able to go there and really, turn my career into something was really special to be able to race that today. So I think it definitely had some mojo in it. It was really fun. I don't know if it's a statement. I think, you in this sport, you get judged week to week. I mean, if we go and run 10th next weekend, they're going to say, okay, the 19th's done. They're not that good anymore. So, we just try to take it week to week and have fun. Our guys have obviously, like I said earlier, they're doing a great job right now. And, when your cars are fast, things are clicking and, you're having fun. This is the coolest job in the world. And, when you're struggling, it's probably the most difficult because all the fingers get pointed at you. So we're going to enjoy it, and just keep working hard. Like James said a few minutes ago, he's all in every weekend. And, everybody feeds off of that on our team, and that's what it takes to be good at this level. So just really proud to drive these cars that these guys are building and putting under me and enjoying doing it. So hopefully we keep it up.
Congratulations, both of you. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All righty. And we're going to take one final question from Tucker White. Go ahead, Tucker.
Oh, sorry. I didn't have a question. Someone else got it to me already.
Okay. No problem. All right. Well, Martin and James, thank you guys so much for taking some time with us. Congratulations on another win, and we'll see you at Dover.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.